Today's sales leaders face a difficult task, selling the right products at the right time through the right channels. A new 3-day program from Harvard Business School Executive Education addresses this problem directly. Join us on the Boston campus in August for Managing Sales Teams and Distribution Channels, where you will discover strategies that can lead to the best sales performance. Learn more by clicking the banner or visiting hbs.me/sales. That's hbs.me/sales.
Blog Talk Radio.
Well, it's Saturday, and it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and I haven't even had a cup of coffee. Well, maybe. My kids are first waking up, 77 degrees, and it's Female Writers Day, and what am I doing? I'm on the radio. Yay! No, I'm kidding. Of course I'm excited to be on the radio on a Saturday morning when I'm not awake yet. Anyways, let's do a couple quick announcements before we get Jimmy on the phone because I don't want him waiting all day. He's got things to do. I may not want to be on the radio all day, just saying, but I'm so excited about this show I can't stand it. So a couple quick reminders to everybody. First of all, I am only on air 2 days next week. That will be on Monday and Tuesday. Nicole Isler, who is one of the best-selling novelists in New York City, is going to be coming on my show at 1:30 Central Standard Time on Monday. Super excited about that. I kind of met her through a group of women who runs a publication called Badassery Magazine, and they're wonderful girls, and they're very empowering, very, very smart, very, very successful. And so when I get to highlight females, I get super excited about that. So her name is Nicole Isler. I'll spell that for you because I hate to say it. I don't have her website in front of me. It's Nicole, and the last name is spelled Isler. I'll be putting up all of her information probably on the show page on Sunday, so you can take a peek at that. And then on Tuesday, my dear, dear friend, Antonia Hall, who I can't wait to see because I am going to LA next week, she has another client who's also an author, and that's in the California realm, and she'll be coming on. Her name is Lucinda. Again, check the show page for that information. She's coming on at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time on Tuesday. Just a reminder to everybody listening in for my LA crowd, I will be in LA starting May 9th, early morning, going all the way through until midday on the 12th. I have to rush back here to Milwaukee to a dear friend's birthday party. He's turning 92 years old. He's one of my dearest friends. So, obviously, radio shows Monday and Tuesday in LA. If anybody's listening, you're in LA and you want to meet up with me or you want to audition for the film, now would be your time because, frankly, I have no idea when I'm going to be back. To those that are in New York City, and hopefully at least 2 of you are listening besides Jimmy, I'll be coming in the 23rd. I'll be leaving probably late day on the 27th, and that's of this coming month, May 23rd to the 27th. If you want to audition, now would be your time. If you want to hang out with me, that would be even better. If you have an event that you want me to cover, let me know. Real quick reminder about my film festival. I can't say it enough. I'm so lucky that I have 60 submissions already. Let's try to get 60 more before the cutoff date of June 29th. I dropped the feedback down because, well, filmmakers are broke, and they need all the help they can get, right? So the reality is if I break you, then you're not going to submit. Ding, ding. So I'm taking web series, I'm taking shorts, and I'm taking features for $30. Obviously, the youth film always stays at $10. The screenplay always stays at $20. Hopefully that's affordable enough, folks. The announcement comes right in the beginning of July, and, of course, the event itself is August 16th to the 19th. I want to remind everybody about the festival. The tribute to Frank Vincent is August 18th. In a perfect world, we would have Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro in that room at the same time. I'm not so sure how I deal with that. In any case, I'm only allowing probably 200 tickets to be sold to that event, and it should be obvious why. First of all, it's supposed to be an intimate setting. It is a tribute to a legendary actor, and so as such, I promised his family that it will stay remote and will stay private. So 200 tickets is the max on that. I'll post up the location probably in the beginning of June so you can get your tickets. I'll try to keep it as reasonable as I can. Second of all, August 17th, the day before, so excited that James Morrison, his movie about auditioning, which I encourage all of you actors to come and check out, is going to be on August 17th, and I'm very blessed and fortunate that he himself is going to be coming to New York City to do a presentation. In a perfect world, he'd bring Sam Rockwell, who's in the film, but I'm guessing he probably won't. So please make sure that you get your tickets for that. I'm capping that as well because obviously he'll be there, but I can't even stress enough how excited I am. James Morrison is one of my favorite people. Not only is he a magical musician, I love, love, love his music, but he's done some tremendous acting, and of course, obviously, I'm a huge 24 fan. So who doesn't want to meet Bill Buchanan, right? I'm like totally over that. So if you want to submit, filmfreeway.com, Art is Alive Film Festival. To check out the website, it's artisalivefilmfestival.yolasite.com. I'll be going ahead and revamping the entire website within the next month, so go ahead and check that out. And the last thing, before I forget to remind everybody, my movie, it's called Love's Two-Way Mirror. In a perfect world, we'll start filming it next month? I keep asking myself, I'm like, everything changes when you have a big crew. As you may or may not know, I have 3 different locations, which is Wisconsin, LA, and New York City. I did that on purpose, and I have some of the best people that are in the film, and I'm super excited about it. However, it takes a village, and my village isn't complete yet. So I need 2 more guys and gals in New York City, ages 35 to 55. The same holds true for LA as well as for Wisconsin. So if you want to audition, you need to either private message me, you need to go to the page on Facebook, which is Love's Two-Way Mirror. If you Google the website, and yes, that's right, I don't know the name of my own website, just Google Love's Two-Way Mirror, you'll find it. Otherwise, email me directly at cin4251@gmail.com. And become a part of my film. I am still accepting music, and frankly, in a perfect world, I need to get music, big band music from the 20s, 30s, and 40s. Send me whatever you got. I'm pretty easy. It's very hard for me to say no to just about anybody. Without further ado, let's stop talking about me, and let's start talking about James, because he's the big deal today. Hey, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Nobody wants to know about my endeavors. Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry. I fell asleep. I'm all right. It's early.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about my film festival. Yeah. Did you know the one that you submitted to? Yeah, that.
Yeah.
The Artists Alive Film Festival and the film that I'm doing, because I get like 4 minutes to talk about me, and then we get all this time to talk about you. So there you go.
I know. That's a fair trade. I think that's a great balance. You are nice.
I think I'm gonna try to be nice today, because I know you give me a lot of junk. Did you notice I posted something really nice about you today? See, I was nice. I put a big post up.
Agree with you.
But I'm nice.
Oh, very nice. Thank you.
No, they don't. Actually, I never do morning shows. I don't like morning shows. I'm not even.
Yeah, you and I. We don't. We got to find this. I know. Did you put the kids away? Would you lock them away or something? Is there a basement?
Did you put the kids away? My children are in the living room, literally ignoring the both of us. They're on their YouTube. I said to them, "Do you need anything? Can I give you this? Can I give you that?" And they're like, they're thinking, "Who is this guy?" They're probably like, "I don't even care who Jimmy is. Why don't you talk to him all day?" They'd be happy if I was on this radio show for like 4 hours, so they could do whatever they want. Video games,
that's it.
YouTube.
That's it. Just put them in front of a TV. Let the TV do the raising, and it'll be perfect. It's perfect.
I told them, I'm like, hey, maybe they should Google you and they can listen to your music. No interest. None.
No interest.
0. Like,
unless
whatever.
I created a video game, or, I don't know. I've been on MTV, which I have, but still, that's a long time ago.
Well, right.
Anyway.
Well, that's exactly right. And funny, folks, because listen, if you go look at Jimmy's page, it even says he's great with animals and kids. And then he tells me to put my children in front of a TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
that's
like
getting kids. They'll tell you that's great.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but that's not parenting. That's just idiot boxing.
I want you to listen to something. Ready? This is the sound of my career. Ready?
Oh, my God. We even have visuals and vocals today. Did you get that? I'll try to figure out a way to do this visually.
This is like Prairie Home Companion. We have sound effects. And so anyway.
I know, right?
Hey,
it's crazy. Okay, so
you
we're going to cover
I want to share something. I want to share something with you. Hold on. No, it's not perverted. Don't worry. It's PG.
I know it's not.
So as you know, some of you
moment.
know who watch. Are you talking over me? Come on. Oh, damn it. I just grabbed my goddamn computer. Hold on. I'm trying to lay down and get comfortable
I'm
here.
sorry for the profanity to the children that are listening in. He's really not a bad guy.
Sorry, kids. I'll explain all those words later. So, where are we? Okay,
yes.
Me.
I'm waiting for
I woke
you.
up this morning. Now, some of you know that, and I've already posted this, I bragged on Facebook because I'm an attention whore, like most actors. Most actors like, I don't want the attention. No, not me. No, they're full of crap. We love attention. So, I've been playing with Danny Aiello for like maybe 13, 14 years now. He's if those of you don't know who he is, shame. He's a legendary Oscar-nominated, Emmy-winning actor. What was he in? God. Do the Right Thing. He was Oscar nominated for Godfather 2. And just Google the guy. Or IMDb him. He's been in over 90 films, maybe. So he was the guy who I could tell my story a little bit. He was the guy who kind of got me influenced to get back into acting because I was a musician full time. Started playing with him as a sideman. And his story is he didn't start his acting career cold until his mid-30s. And he had 3 kids, 1 on the way. His daughter was on the way, so his wife, Sandy, was pregnant. And he was working at the Greyhound Bus Union, and he got fired. the Wildcat strike, I believe it was. And so now he's, a family, a wife, no job. So he went by the Improv one day, which used to be on 44th Street. Yeah, it's now Don Giovanni Restaurant. And if you go to that restaurant, right off 9th Avenue, 8th and 9th Avenue, it's right below the Producers Club. There's a brick wall, and they have a plaque there saying that, this was the wall that all these legendary comics, got their start at. And Danny was his joke is, Bud Friedman, who ran it, saw his talent and made him a bouncer. Hold on a second. I got people working outside my window. What the fuck you doing? Jerk off. Anyway.
Typical.
Sorry, this is
kids,
Brooklyn, ladies and gentlemen.
Kids listening.
Oh, sorry, kids.
Oh my
what
God.
are you doing, bad people? No, this guy's working outside my window. I live on the 4th floor of a building, right? And they're doing scaffolding work right now. And so I'm going to be in my bedroom. Hold on. This is weird. These guys are looking in my window.
Now he's taking us to his bedroom. Look at this. This is kind of
easy, dirty lady.
Ooh. Well, not
anyway,
to mention the fact, of course, didn't you just tell them you were going to have an interview today? I'm on radio today? Shut up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they care. They really care. They so care. Anyway.
Now back to you and Danny. Yeah.
So Danny, he's working at the Improv. He becomes like an MC and all that stuff. This guy, I think it was Louis LaRusso Jr. saw him and put him in his first play. I think it was either Lamppost Reunion or Knockout. I think it was Lamppost Reunion. And from there, his career took off, right? This is back when, getting on Broadway wasn't like it is now. Broadway is so, Hollywood and Disneyed out, we're talking late 60s, early 70s. And then from there, his career took off. So, I'm hearing this story night after night while we're touring and all that stuff. And I did acting as a child. I did Radio City Music Hall when I was about 8 years old.
Right.
I was Timmy to Lassie. And you don't really understand the magnitude of it when you're a kid. No one really took it that seriously. I did a couple of things, and that was it. A few years later, I found guitar, became a musician, and I did that for years. But I always kind of wanted to get back into acting. And I love telling stories, and I like writing, and I'm a writer also. So, hearing Danny's story, I got inspired. Excuse me. And, I'm playing in 3, 4, sometimes 5 different bands at a time. I'm kind of burning out. I'm I'm not really enjoying this. I'm touring. I'm playing all up and down the East Coast, that kind of thing, and literally just kind of burning out. And then I met my first acting coach, Glenn O'Malley, on Christmas Eve. And he was a friend of my cousin's, and my cousin said, look, I know you want to get into acting. Why don't you pick Glenn up in the West Village and drive up to Jersey for our Christmas Eve, shindig. And I did. Me and him hit it off right away. And it turns out, if you don't know Glenn O'Malley, that's another guy to Google. Brilliant playwright. He was, help me out here. My brain just went fart.
No, it's okay. I know who you're talking about, too.
Yeah, he was, who wrote Virginia Woolf? Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Oh
my God.
Oh, my God. Now I should know this. I have to Google it. That's it.
Yeah, please do.
Go on.
Because he was his protege. And we got to talking, and on the drive home, we hit it off like real buds, just talking deep. And I told him on the way home, I said, man, I'm thinking about getting into acting. I've been toying with the idea of getting into acting. And I said, just like that.
Right.
And he was this big dude, he was a real buff kind of dude, but he was also this very sensitive, lovely guy. He's like, okay, well, you're a big boy, so let's put the toys away, make a decision. I thought that was a great line. I was like, holy shit, this guy's for real.
Right.
And he's like, make a decision now. Do you want to be an actor or not? And I said, yeah, I do. I'm driving down the West Side Highway, to drop him off at home. And then we arranged this. All right, well, next week come by. We'll work something out, and I'll start, helping you out. We'll train you, get you trained. And that was the beginning. That was about, 12, 13 years ago.
Wow.
And so then I got into it. I just did it because I remember, man, I could do it. I'm in my mid-30s. I could do this, no problem. Well, sure. And I hit the ground running and doing tons and tons of plays, lots of black box theater and all that sort of thing. So this whole long-winded tirade of BS is heading to this. I'm going to read you something. I did a movie. I produced my own movie. I wrote it, produced it, and starred it. It's called The Prime. We just got back from the Sunscreen Film Festival, which is a fantastic film festival, really one of the better ones I've ever been to. And it's the first film festival that I went to with The Prime, with my director, the lovely, beautiful, super, super, super talented Jessica Green. And we had a great time. Me and her, she's one of my closest friends now. And we had a blast. So I sent the movie to Danny a while back. I said, Danny, you want to take a look at my movie? He said, yeah, sure, kid. He's really great with me. So I'm going to, hold on, I'm going to put you on speaking with you. Don't get excited. I don't know. Wait, I got to put my glasses on too. Jesus. Christ. Hold on. Oh, you're waiting. Oh, I was like, well, you got something to do? Go check on the kids. Make sure they're not setting the house on fire. All right, so.
Let me just sit here and
yawn.
This is the email. While I wait.
This is the email. Wait, this is the email I was sent from Danny. And I posted this on Facebook because I love attention.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you were brilliant. I loved it. Jimmy, the voiceover, I believe, was you. Terrific. You are on your way to where you want to be. Obviously, you have the talent. Now is where the luck kick comes in. The right people need to see you, and I believe they will. Just keep punching. Love, Danny. Sent from my iPhone. So, that, you know, and here's the thing. Hold on, let me get back to where I was. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you sound like you.
Here's the thing. Actors, you know, a lot of people look at what we do, and they think that it's all, you know, what do you call it? I don't want to say anything perverted. Hold on. It's all, you know, amazing.
Yeah.
I usually have a term I say, and I can't say it because of kids. And
yeah,
I don't
I
want
know.
you to have to
I
explain to your kids what that means. They look at our Facebook pages, and, yeah, we post all the good stuff, and we post everything we're doing. It really looks like we're doing, you know, all this amazing stuff. And, yeah, some of us, we really do. But you got to remember something. Those are kind of like little signposts along the way, little, you know, perks along the way. 90% of my time is laying on a couch looking at Actors Access trying to get a gig, you know, in my underwear, believe it or not. And as many as I am right now.
Thank you.
Thank you. What else? You know, you see me getting in all these festivals. Oh, we're in 13 festivals. Yeah. That's great. There's probably like 40 that I was turned down by. You know, and this is like the reality I think people should know because, and the reason I'm saying this specifically is because, you know, people, oh, you're doing great, you're killing it. I'm broke. You know, I mean, truth of the matter is, I mean, yes, every now and then you get a TV gig, and you know, just because you get one TV gig, it pays a good piece of money.
Right.
But that's not going to last you. That might last a month, that great piece of money. So, you know, the reality of being an artist and an actor is that it is really a chasm between the two extremes of having like a little bit of success and what we're all running for, the goal we're all running for is getting that consistent success, you know, residual income. I mean, it's the greatest thing in the world, right?
Of course.
I got a check from Billions. The last check I got was $4.24.
I know.
And I had friends on The Sopranos and other big shows, and we laugh about our residual checks. You know, so like I had friends on The Sopranos, like, yeah, I just got a check for 32 cents. A series regular. Or a recurring character. Go ahead.
I want to just say something about that whole Danny Aiello thing, because and part of the reason that you're on this show is I always obviously I like to promote actors, but I like to promote the realism as it relates to the industry, which is where my whole festival came from. I think that, first of all, congratulations, in case I didn't say that on social media, and to everyone that's listening in, that's a big brag point, not just because of the fact that he is a big-time actor, meaning Danny Aiello, we all most likely recognize him, but what's remarkable, in my opinion, about that compliment is that someone that you have played alongside. You've been in his band. You've spent time with him. It's not like just a random, I'm going to pitch a celebrity and ask him to vouch for my film. This is someone you know. So when it comes from someone that you know that's recognizable, in the industry, that's a wonderful thing. But just personally, you should be very, very proud of yourself. Seriously, that's a huge, huge thing.
Thank you.
It is. And you've earned that. And make no mistake, because I'm afraid you're not sure of that. You did earn that.
Well, no, you're right. And that's the other thing I want to mention. As actors, it's a sad thing how we, and artists in general, I'm also a musician, a writer, you know, dancers. I'm sure every artist deals with this where you get an accolade, you get a compliment, and it's just a small impression. In other words, it's like pushing on someone's skin and it just pops right back up. Like, and we kind of live on that in a way, you know, to be perfectly honest.
Sure.
You know, a lot of people like to talk this stuff like, oh, no, I have thick skin. That's all BS. Let me tell you something. One criticism can crush an artist, you know? It really can. It can really do a lot of damage. And so we really do, because outside of the money thing, we're really thriving and surviving on, you know, and not just compliments, you know, criticism, like, and constructive criticism and things that kind of make us go, okay, I'm not wasting my time. Because, like, many actors I know, a lot of my peers were all past our late 30s. And, you know, it could really hit you in the nads every now and then where you're like, wait a minute, what am I doing? You know, when things are slow and you're getting turned down from auditions and your film's getting turned down, you go, wait a minute, what am I doing in my life? You know, so yeah, it's these kind of little perks that make you go, okay, you know what? I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. And then some crazy lady asks you to be on her radio show, and you do it, and, you know, and there you are.
Did he just use the words crazy? Did he just describe me as crazy and come on my show and do that to me?
Crazy lovely. Crazy lovely. Crazy lovely lady.
What is
that's
that?
Nice little ring to it.
Oh, wait, the reception's breaking up. It all sounds like the call's dropping. Yeah. Nice. Yeah,
crazy, lovely,
I give him
lady,
kindness this morning, and then listen to the way he talks about me. That's all I'm going to say. But since we're on Danny, let's talk about this. Number one, you have, obviously, as I mentioned, we're going to talk a bit about, or have you talk a bit about being in his band, obviously, but more importantly, because most of us, including myself, and if you're listening, Danny, which you're probably not, you can come on my show like 6 times a week if you want, just throwing that out there. Most of us have not met him and obviously not played alongside him. So talk about that experience and talk about how you further yourself as far as a musician by being a part of his band versus playing with someone else.
Okay, cool. How I got the gig, my audition was playing on the Today Show in front of 15 million people. The musical director, drummer, Joe Geary, I was playing in other bands with. And he did the first record with Danny because his wife is Tracy Miller, who is a big PR person. Oh. And so, yeah, and they're all lovely people, and Joe's a great guy and all that stuff, and I've been playing with him for, 16 years now in different bands. Call one day, and it's like, hey, Jimmy, what are you doing Saturday? He's very cryptic in the way he says things. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. He's like, yeah, you want to do the Today Show with Danny Aiello? I was like, okay. I was like, when are we rehearsing? No rehearsal. I'll send you the charts. We're only doing 3 songs. You'll just do it right on TV. I was like, okay. And I did. You know, they emailed me the music. And I basically just went on live, and they put me right up front. You could probably find it on YouTube somewhere, like the Danny Aiello Today Show, I think it was. And it was just a surreal experience. I went from hanging out on 1 week, and next thing I know, a couple of days later, I'm on national television standing next to an acting legend, and and trial by fire because we've never rehearsed. I'm playing those tunes for the first time live on TV in front of millions of people. So I pulled it off. I didn't embarrass myself. And they had me right up there next to Danny, right on camera, and I was like, cool. So I got that, and then later in the day, Joe called me and he said, hey, Danny liked you. And I went up to Danny afterwards and said, hey, Danny, I want to thank you for having me. Oh, kid, he's a very family-oriented guy. He's like, you get to know Danny, he's very family. That's like his whole thing. And he treats you like family. And if he likes you and you like him, you just got to be normal with him. And it was good. That's how I was. I said, hey, I want to thanks for having me today, man. I had a great time. Oh, kid, you were great, blah, blah, blah. Later that day, I get the call. He goes, yeah, man, if you want the gig, it's yours. We're going on tour. We're going to California. We're going up to Canada. We're playing all these. We played all these, what do you call those things? Casinos. And the casino gigs are great. They pay well. They just take care of you. We had a blast, and we had a great time. And like I said, then after a while, he would tell his life story, and it's an amazing life story. I want to say this. Anyone listening, especially, it's mandatory. If you're an actor and you're past your mid-30s, you have to read Danny's book because, it's amazing. Wow. It really is. He wrote this book. I only know who I am when I'm somebody else is the name of the book. And it's a brilliant read. And I would say it's almost mandatory for actors past their late 30s or mid to late 30s because that's when Danny started. And
that's very
cool. It's gripping. You would think it would be okay. I don't know why the book isn't. I know it's done well, but it should be a #1 bestseller. And I'm not just saying that because I love the guy. I get it. I hate to read. I only read books with pictures in it. I like to read like Dr. Seuss. That's my limit of reading right there. All right, if it doesn't have pictures in it or conspiracy theories or some crap, I don't want to read it. People are like, you should read this book. And I'm like, oh, crap. And then they go ahead and buy me this stupid book, and I'm like, God, I got to read the damn thing. And I read like 5 pages. I almost feel like it's a book report, because they're going to ask, did you read it? And I'm like, yeah. And I mentioned something off the first 3 pages, and we're good. But then they get into later in the book, and I'm screwed. So don't buy me a book, is what I'm saying, because I ain't going to read it unless it's got nude pictures. I don't care. So anyway,
yeah, but I kind of bought you a book. Did you read that? That's kind of a book, isn't it?
Oh yeah, but that was
the gift
different.
That's kind of a book, right?
Yeah, no, it was a lovely, 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 lovely book, but that's not like a book. You bought me that little thing with sayings in it.
Okay, just checking.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like,
just making sure.
You didn't buy
Note
me
to
some like
self,
300-page, 300-page book, like self-help crap, like some schmucky guru who's like, with like obviously like platitudes of just normal, like, if you look up, you will see the sky. No crap, moron. I know that. A 9-year-old can tell me that. If you think good thoughts, good things might happen. Yeah, we know. I want to know next week's lotto numbers.
Comedy Hour, kids.
Yeah, it is. You know, I mean, you read these books and you think, you read these books and by the last page you think your life's going to change, and then you look around, the rent's still due. You know, my underwear's still on the floor, and nothing's changed. Nothing's changed.
Oh,
anyway.
My God.
But
pajamas, underwear.
Danny's book I read in like 2 days, and it was just like wow, because he's mentioning all these great people. His beef with Scorsese, they have kind of like a little frenemy thing going. It's like, you're reading about these amazing people, and like him and De Niro, how De Niro's over his house eating spaghetti. Like, it's just wild, And, and like,
so.
I think it was him and Ellen Bernstein. No, not Ellen Bernstein. Who was married to Humphrey Bogart? What was her name? Damn it.
Lauren Bacall.
Yeah, he got into a big. I think it was her. I think it was her. He got into a big fight with her in the book when he did a movie with her and told her to go F herself. Like, it was amazing. It's like, you're like, holy crap. Like, it's gripping. It's like, wow. It's not just I did this and then I did that and then I did. No, it's like real stuff. And so, yeah.
Now, do you mind if I interject a minute? Because we have a call-in.
Please.
Do we want to take a call-in? Do you want to take a call-in? All right, let's see who's on the line.
Who is it?
I bet we know who it is.
Uh-oh.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, God, it's him.
Oh, imagine.
It's our only call. It's our only listener, like last time.
Stop it. That's not true. There's at least 4 people.
What are you two up to?
Well, you're listening, right?
No.
He's talking about Danny Aiello, the man. He's not talking about Jimmy, by the way. And right now he's talking about Danny again. And we love Danny. Don't get mad. Please don't get mad, Mr. Aiello.
No, we do.
No, Danny Aiello.
But we are talking about Danny.
He has
What's
really
that?
good
Right? Isn't that awesome?
That's awesome. I know.
That's for anybody who doesn't know who this is. This is. Wait, let me see. This is Pete Dorton, one of my good friends.
Yeah.
The only person who's listening right now. So right now there's no listeners.
That's not
Pete's
true.
Listening. Pete's calling.
Actually,
my
kids are listening from the other room. Sorry.
Well, they don't count.
They
they're not paying attention to that. They're like hopped up on sugar and watching like dangerous stuff on YouTube.
Jimmy is great with animals and kids. Are you hearing that?
Yeah.
He's great with animals and kids.
Put them in a cage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Put them on leashes and cages. They're wonderful.
Ouch.
So, Pete is in my film. He's one of the producers, and he acts in my film, The Prime. Pete's a wonderful actor. Pete won Best Actor in Chelsea Film Fest because he's a big fancy schmancy actor guy now. And he's one of the nicest people I've ever met. He's a good buddy, and we're going to be doing a lot more together. Yeah, I know. Isn't that cute? And we met in prison.
Short film called Lou. L-O-U.
Yeah, Pete's film.
Lou.
That Pete's got that film going on, and
out there.
we met in prison, by the way. Did you hear that? Kids?
I saw the note.
Yeah.
We met in prison.
Yes.
I used to make Pete make my bed.
Oh my God! We're going there.
Make my bed, inmate. Make my bed.
Oh my God!
By
the way, Pete, since you're on the line right now, Pete, can I just publicly say this one more time? I've asked you to come on this show 4 times now. 4. What does the girl have to do to get your attention? What do I have to do to get your attention?
I think that's
You've
a proposition,
got my
Pete.
Apparently not.
Take it, Pete.
I know. We have to set up a time.
I keep asking, and then you keep not doing it. How many times can I ask?
We have to set a date. I'm sorry. But I love calling in. It's great.
Because you get us both at the same time? Why?
What's that?
Do you want to know why Pete likes calling in? Because he can hang up anytime he can.
I get a
oh my God, listen to this. My gosh. Well, Pete, since you're on the line, I want you to tell all 64,000 listeners that I have why it is that they should support Jimmy's projects, because today really is about Jimmy. So we do want to get off of Danny. Although I love you for the 4th time. But we do want to talk about James. So tell everybody why you work with James, and more importantly, tell them why they should be supporting his projects, whether it's musically or whether it's on theater or whether it's in front of the big screen.
Well, let me tell you, he is probably one of my most talented friends. I mean, not only is he a musician, I mean, I just love what goes on in his mind. Like, he's a little scary, honestly. I mean, you've heard what comes out of his mouth, but his imagination is beyond. And, like, the movie The Prime is just, it's one of those films that it's going to go a long way. And it's just in its infancy, and I could see it turning into a series for Netflix or Amazon.
Oh, God, I hope so. Oh, God, I hope.
But, and it's really, I mean, it's a commentary on our society. And actually, I feel like it's the direction that this country's headed in. But he's, when I first met this guy, I'd seen a few of his films, and I really just thought, this guy, he knows what he's doing. And he's one of those real guys, He's not one of those guys that's just up there, another pretty face, which obviously we know that. But
right.
Yeah, I'm real pretty.
I know, right?
I'm so pretty.
He's got the goods, But
he does.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I was so blessed to work on this with him, and I can't wait to see the next project. He's just
I wrote
he's always
it. I'm ready
working.
to produce it.
Yeah,
I'm trying. Thanks, Pete. This is what happens when you share a prison
That's
cell with somebody. It's like Stockholm syndrome.
Oh my God, listen to you. Now, Pete, before I forget to ask this question, because you are on the line and we are all about shameless promotion on this show, please tell everybody what your next project is or what you got working on right now, because I know, but the listening audience does not. That's why you come on the show, by the way. Hint, hint.
How about
Just saying.
Let me save that for my interview. No, Oh, what do I have coming up? I've got a short and a feature that I've been working on, and I'm just trying to find funding for it. So if anybody out there has money, please send it my way.
It's ironic that you mentioned that, Pete. Make sure you listen to the end of this show. Jimmy has surprises coming, which might involve you and others. But go ahead.
This is good. I like surprises. Well, I don't know. Not
I know
for
you
Jimmy,
do.
Though. his surprises are a little scary.
Okay.
No, yeah, I'm excited to see your film too. I've been following you on Facebook. Yeah.
Well, I started this. I started my announcements today, and I was talking about my film, and then I put Jimmy on the line, and he was snoring. So apparently, it's not that interesting to some people, because they were sleeping while I was talking about my next project. So, no, I am excited and petrified all at the same time. It's a lot, and we'll go talking about that when I come to New York City, because it's a lot. I'm very, very nervous and excited. It's my first go around, and unlike the rest of you, you've done it. I haven't. I do. I'm very blessed.
Because you know who we're going to talk about now? I don't know if she's involved, but we're going to talk about Rachel Kardashian, one of my faves. She's a good person.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Rach. Oh, my God. She's coming on the show, I've asked her double the amount of time I've done Pete. Like, literally, I've asked Pete 4 times. I must have asked Rachel 10, 12 times. So, Best Friend Productions, by the way, folks, Rachel Kardashian, she's coming on the show. I can't stand myself how excited I am about this. She's got a production coming up as well. I've learned a lot about production from her, and I've learned a lot about business in the industry and things like this. And make no mistake, folks, the 2 boys that are on my show right now, and I'm lucky that I have them both in my ear, as a matter of fact, obviously, Pete showed up at my film festival last year, and he was probably one of the number one, fundamentally, the reason why I'm having another festival this year is because of him. Because I wasn't sure. I did my first year, and he was like, you need to do this again. And he convinced me of the reasons why my festival matters instead of everybody else. Because, first timer, you're like, I don't matter in the big pool. And he made me believe that. And then James showed up at my festival, and I didn't even know him from Adam. And then get this, folks, he walks up to me and he gives me shit the entire night. Oh my God, my kids are here. He gives me crap all night long, teases me all night, and all I'm thinking is, this dude hates me. I'm like, seriously, he will not cut me a break. And yeah, well, he ended up being a little nicer than I thought, just a little.
I was not mean. You make it sound like I punched you in the face, for Christ's sake. I didn't do that. I was just breaking your chops. I was just breaking. You know what it was? Hold on, Cindy. I was giving you the New York rouse. I was breaking you in. You want to come to New York and you want to stay here and do. Yes. I was giving you the business. Right. Tell your audience. Yeah, I was making it harder, and you took it, and we had a fun time, and we joked around. We did, and you were great, and we were laughing. We were laughing, and we were mostly laughing at you, but we were laughing, and that's how it goes. See what I mean, folks? This is what I'm talking about. By the way, since I can't say it because my children are here, tell your listening audience one of the components that you believe you're not a true New Yorker unless you do what? Wait, say that again. Remember, what did you tell me? In order to be a New Yorker, to be a true New Yorker, I would have to do what? Oh, well, now you said I can't curse on here. We can't say it. You have said it. I said, if you can't say the word mother effer, well, I'm not going to say the full word because you're kids, and I don't want to be responsible for the kids going to therapy anytime soon. Exactly. And it's too early. It's too early in the day to hear that word. Never too early in the day. See, that's why Pete's still a little bit of Ohioan. So, proper New York, you could say mother effer anytime you want. All right? It's like mother effer this, mother effer that. I don't care if it's 6 in the morning, 6 at night. Mother effer, mother effer, mother effer. Okay? Kids, you listening? Did you hear that, folks? Oh. I want you to go inside, see mommy, and yell out. No, I won't do that. I'll get lawsuits left and right. I'm gonna have people I don't even know like sending me lawsuits. My kid was a nice kid until he listened to this radio show. Now he's saying mother effer every day. He's on fire. I'm not even knowing he's on fire already. I'm not even awake yet, and he's already on fire. I'm like, what is the deal with this? So before I forget, Pete, because we actually do have to get this interview in because he's on a time schedule, I just want to remind you that I have this thing called the Art of the Live Film Festival from August 16th to the 19th, and guess who hasn't submitted anything to me? Just going to throw that out there. It's not James, because James submitted. Well, I don't have anything to submit this year, but I will be there. Get out! Seriously? As of now, no. I have an idea. What's that? You know somebody who's making a film, and she might likely be debuting her film at her own film festival. Just saying. Yeah. Which would be awesome. Putting it out there. And so somebody had better hurry up and get this film finished. It's only like 8 days of filming at most. So, I mean, how long can that take? I mean, and half of it's in New York. You know what I mean? Wait, hold on. Did you just say I only have 8 days of filming? How long can that be? Coming. You do not know how time warps when you're shooting a film. I know. You think 12 hours is long, and 12 hours is a short day. 12 hours is like, I get home early. So, and stop here's the other thing. Me, please. Well, no, that's not being. I'm not trying to scare you. No, you're going to be fine. You've got lots of support, Cindy. Thank you, Pete. You'll be fine. There you go. Look, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to scare you, but you might actually die during this process. Just saying. So don't be surprised if you drop dead. Pete, the next time you see him, can you knock him upside the head for me? Not hard. Just knock him upside the head. Like, dude, what are you doing? Good. He's hard-headed. Yeah, there's nothing much in there. You're hitting the wrong place. I sit on my brains. Oh my God. Well, Pete, I have to actually get my job done here now. Sadly. Yeah, I was gonna say, let me let you guys get back to what you're doing. Good luck. All right, Pete. Thank you. I'll see you later, buddy. I'll see you on my next trip, please. On her. Yes. All right. Thanks. Take it easy on her. Pete, come to Vero Beach. Come to Vero Beach next month. Come on. Oh, my God. Don't leave me alone with Jessica Green again. I'm kidding. Jessica's wonderful. Jessica's wonderful. Listen to him. He just keeps killing me. I'm trying to get more people from the friggin' movie to go to these festivals. Did Pete go? What's that? Thank you for calling us, honey. We thank you for calling in. Okay. Thanks for being our only listener. Keep listening because you're our only listener. Listen, don't shut the radio off. Please. You're our only listener. So exactly. There's plenty of people listening. So.
I'll talk
Thanks,
to you
Pete.
soon.
Thank you.
All right, get off the damn phone already. All right.
Bye.
Is he gone?
Okay, now we have to get back to real business instead of all this frolicking.
Is Pete gone?
And having
Hold
fun.
on, is Pete gone?
Yes, he's gone. It's
is
just
Pete
you and
gone?
me.
Oh,
yes,
thank God. I hate that guy. I friggin' hate that guy. Oh, my God.
I don't know why he keeps calling in and he thinks that we actually want to talk to him when we're like, why are you on this show, right? He just comes and takes over everything.
Oh, yeah, I'm calling in. I hate
just
that
saying.
guy. Oh, God.
Well, what are you going to do? It's over
Pete.
now.
I love Pete.
It was only like 8 minutes. I mean, right? We have big love for Pete Jordan, by the way. L-O-U.
No, Pete Jordan.
He's in, of course, his own production of Lou and, of course, The Prime.
Yeah, and he's a
Check
great producer. He's a great actor. He's a great actor, a great producer. You know, good guy, really good guy. Anyway, enough of him. Move on.
But we want to talk about James. Exactly, right? And
so
we've covered the Danny thing, unless you have anything else you want to say.
No, just Danny's been a huge influence. It's good to, like I said, once in a while you get a little signpost along the way saying you're not a total F up. And boys and girls, if you don't know what F up is, go and ask your parents. So, and I wake up to that kind of email. It's like I said, it's one little stone in the pond as you're crossing the stream to success,
Of course. Sure.
So, and we just got back from Sunscreen, like I said, last week, and that was a great festival. Right. I want to talk more about that. We were scared. Me and Jessica, we were in the sci-fi block. Now, I say The Prime, for me, call it more of a drama, but it's under a sci-fi setting because it's an Orwellian, dystopian kind of a story. But we're sitting there in the sci-fi block, and we had a great time. We were like 4:30 on a Saturday. Really good time, right? And we're sitting watching these films. We were like fourth in a rotation of maybe like 6, 7 films. And they all had this amazing CGI. And me and Jessica looked at each other like, oh, crap. Like, there's no CGI in my film. I mean, I was lucky enough to afford a camera. That's what the most CGI we have is a freaking camera and a sound guy. But still, Toru is a great DP. He did an amazing job. Zach Travis, who was the sound guy, was amazing. We had a great crew. We really had a great crew. And it looks great. And it looks great on screen. But we were just like, oh, my God, we don't have spaceships and explosions and laser beams and all this crap.
Right.
And we were scared. We were like, oh, my God, we're going to get and at the end, you have to do a talk back. And it was me and Jessica and a guy from another film, this guy Wiley. I forget his last name, but he had a really wonderful film. And it was just us three. And me and Jessica were like, oh, my God, I think we're the only people here. And I think we're the worst film. Like, I think everybody was going to hate our film because, we didn't have, like, all the bells and whistles. But, man, people really dug it. A lot of people came up to me, and they had great questions, and they challenged me, which I like because, like, it challenges society's notion. And, I forget that everywhere out of New York City might be a little more Christian than what I'm used to. And so, like, my film, it challenges the question between spirit and science. If you if people listening, they can go to theprimefilm.com and watch the trailer. And so people were like, well, are you talking about the mark of the beast and this? And it was kind of cool. They kind of challenged me, and they had their opinions, and we got into it, and it was pretty cool. And then afterwards, a lot of other filmmakers and people in the festival came up to me and Jessica separately, and they were like, I really loved your film. It had a real story to it. Like, the other films were cool to watch, but you guys actually, like, I was in the story with you. And we were like, oh, thank God. And that happened all throughout the next 2 days we were there. And I made a good friend, Rudolph Beitendach. I can't pronounce his name, but that's okay. He can't pronounce mine either, so who cares? He had an amazing film called Selling Isabel. It's about human trafficking. And I'm going to help promote this dude's film because he's brilliant. It's a brilliant film.
Very cool.
Human trafficking. And the woman who played the lead, it happened to. She was the victim, and it's like 10 years earlier, this is her story, what happened. And it's insane. And then, they have the statistics in the end. Like, I didn't know this. 20 million people a year go missing under human trafficking. It's like sick. It's just, makes your stomach turn. So we became good friends, me and this dude, and we're keeping in touch. And I'm referring him to the Golden Door Film Festival for various reasons. And, and this is the first time I'm really getting the gist of what a film festival is for, because anytime I went to film festivals before, I'm going as an actor. I get there, I meet people. You get the usual platitudes, and you leave. This time my investment is I have my product there. I'm trying to get something with it. So the relationships are a little more meaningful now. And so we made some good friends, and we made some great friends. Kathy Cromar and her husband Dave Cromar were down there. They're part of the festival. Very generous, very lovely people. And, it's like a little stepping stone thing. So we had a great time. And the weather down there is awesome.
I was just going to ask that. Oh, I saw that. I have a question relative to the film festival, because a lot of people that listen in are either starting off or always looking for new ways to get their product out there. For you as both an actor and a filmmaker, what sets this film festival apart from other ones? What is it about this, or should I say festivals in general?
Yeah.
Advise your public what they should be looking for in terms of soliciting or seeking out festivals.
Yeah, beaches, that's it. F everything else. If it's got a beach, submit.
That's it. And booze.
Submit.
Booze, beach.
Yeah, because next month we're going to Vero Beach Wine, WINE, and Film Festival. I saw that.
Hello.
And I was just like, I was like, boop, submit. So basically I'm trying to vacation plan via film festivals, to be perfectly honest. I'm like, I'd like to go there. And then they turn me down, and I'm like, F that place. I hope it blows up. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe. So that's part of it. Like you get to and then of course you go to the ones like Sunscreen. I never really heard of, but it's like right now it's like a tier 2. It's aiming towards being one of the top film festivals in the country. It's growing.
Nice.
And the thing is, here's the difference. We also screened. Sunscreen was our North American premiere shortly after, like hours after Texas premiered us, or Texas screened us.
Okay.
But that was great, and we really appreciated it. They were wonderful, wonderful people, but they were only doing one day. Sunscreen is from Thursday to Sunday. They have screenings going on all the time. They have panels, which I think is a great idea. Filmmaker panels, writer panels, actor panels, all this stuff. What else do they have? It's at a beautiful big AMC theater. They rented out a floor of the Hyatt Hotel, so they had a lounge for us with food, and where they would do the panels and stuff like that. I mean, they did it big. And, you know what it was, the other thing? You could go anywhere in town, downtown St. Petersburg, and people knew about the Sunscreen. Like if you were in a restaurant or a bar or something, or even like a convenience store, what brings you to St. Petersburg? We're in the Sunscreen Film Festival. Oh, yeah, it's happening right now? Great. Like they know about it. We're at the beach, and we're talking to people, and they know what the Sunscreen Film Festival is. And that means it's big. Like if people around town know what it is, and you see the promotion, that's the other thing too. I know some people that went to, they even went across the pond. They went to different countries, and they get to the film festival, and there's no promotion. And it's like, why the hell did I spend all this money and time getting here, and there's literally no promotion for this film festival? Does anyone know what's happening? What's the point of my film, screening here?
Right.
So Sunscreen, I can't say enough about. The Vero Beach we're going to next month. That looks like a lot of fun. I mean, it's on once again a beach. There's wine, and I think Burt Reynolds is somehow involved in it. I'm not sure about that exactly.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Well, don't quote me. I read things half-assedly. Again, pictures. If there's pictures, if there's words, I kind of just glaze over it, to be perfectly honest with you.
My word. So there you go,
I just
folks.
saw a picture of Burt Reynolds, and they had pictures of Burt Reynolds. I'm like, this must be I just assume things, because that's just the easier way to do things in life, in my opinion. I mean, it usually fails, but whatever.
Oh, my God,
that looks like a lot of fun.
No, that's why I think it's important. Right, it's important to talk about that, because you could submit, in essence, Jimmy and I can both attest, there's thousands, 10,000 festivals plus out there, and you could be randomly submitting to everybody. Did you also know, folks, I just found out that there are some festivals that you can submit to for free with a deadline.
Yes.
Did you know that? There's festivals and stuff. I just found that out. I didn't know that. I couldn't believe I didn't know that.
Also,
wow,
let me say
awesome.
this. On Film Freeway, which is a very good site, if you go on their dashboard page, I think, or one of the main page, there's a thing called marketing. You click on that, and there's different marketing schemes they have. And I did one. I paid them something like maybe $30 or $70. I don't remember. And what they did was basically send an email blast out of your film to all these festivals, and the festivals come back to you with a discounted offer. So the reason I submitted so many is because a $35 film festival all of a sudden was $17.50. Or a $25 one was $12.50. It's like, I can afford that a lot easier than. And I went a little nuts. I've submitted to a lot, like ridiculous amount, like over 100, And we're now accepted into 13 and counting. And we won in the Berlin Flash Film Festival. We won Best Longest Short. It's oxymoron, but whatever. That fits me perfectly. We were semifinalists in the Los Angeles Independent Film Festival, LIA or LAI, I can't, whatever, some acronym. Los Angeles Independent Film Festival. We were semifinalists in that. What else? and we won something else. I think we won another film festival. I can't remember. I can look online right now. But this is what happens when you call me in the morning.
No, when you call me. And second of all, did you submit to Deborah's festival? Long Island International Film Festival?
Oh, yeah, I'm in that. We're in that. Yeah, Deb, I'm in that.
Oh, you are?
We're accepted. Yeah, the Long Island Film Festival, which I'm very psyched about that. And a lot of our fellow filmmakers, we were all part of a thing back when called AGR, Actors Green Room. That's where a lot of us met, where me and Pete met. All of my cast is from that. I'll speak about my cast in a second. That's a good little community. You know, it's a good little tool and resource. So a lot of us are all in that. You should look it up, folks. It'll be like,
AGR and the Green Lounge.
Actors Green Room and the Green Lounge. It's good for actors, especially actors getting back in the business or getting started. It's a good help. The one who runs it, Jen Rudolph's very nice. Jen Rudolph's pretty cool. She tries to help actors, so it's a good thing. Where else are we?
Without a doubt it is.
Deborah,
and he's actually submitted to my festival, and we're waiting to hear if he got into that one or not.
Ooh.
I know the boss. She can be kind of a pain, but she's nice, and she's very fair, and she's very impartial.
I have to say this. They did send a very lovely email to me about the film, like a review, and I thought that was very kind. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, nice. We'll see what happens, as a matter of fact. Now, speaking of the Prime, I want to mention this, folks, because I, of course, he said to my festival, I screened it. I also have 3 other people that screen the films, of course. And why? Because obviously James is a friend of mine, which would make it very impartial for me if I automatically put his film in. And so in the process of watching his film, I had already been friends with Pete. One of his leads, Kay Tuckerman, I actually got the balls to actually approach her the other day because she scares me. And when I called her, she laughed because she thought it was so funny I was afraid of her, because I was like, she is a powerhouse. And, folks, if you get an opportunity, I'm not lying, and I'll let him speak about his own lead. Kay is every time I screen a film, there are people that stand out to me in the film. I mean, James obviously stands out for different reasons because, of course, he's a lead and he has a different dynamic in his own story. So Kay is the other person that stood out to me. Not that Pete and others didn't. For some reason, you two are the 2 on my radar as far as that goes. So I want to ask about the Prime, not only if you would, since we're already on it, and just so you know, folks, he's both executive producer and writer, which you may have mentioned. Tell the folks, in a nutshell, the summarization of the movie itself, and what made you pick out this particular cast as compared to taking maybe an actor you've never met before, et cetera. Tell us what's so unique about your cast. And
we'll start with Kay. You should be scared of Kay because she's been known to kill people. She was a serial killer in South Africa, I think. So Kay is taking human life, and you should really. She's very dangerous. So I'm kidding, of course. Kay is lovely, lovely, lovely. Let's start from the beginning. Like if you're watching the movie, I'm going to go from person to person. Me, because I wrote it and I couldn't think of anyone else dumb enough to play the role, so I figured me. Boom, done. Steve O'Brien. It's a short film, so there's not a lot of screen time for all of us. But Steve O'Brien played a short role, a guy at a dumpster. He questions me because I'm rummaging through food. And Steve is a great actor. He won Best Actor at the Long Island Film Festival. He's one of the most lovely guys in the world. I think he's working on a web series now called Love Your Life, and he's just a great guy, great actor. And I was so happy that he said yes. And I was constantly apologizing. I was like, Steve, I'm so sorry. It's a small role, and he's such a pro and a love. He was just like, no, man, I'm happy to be here. Thank you. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. Who else? Who's next in the scene? Let's see. I'm trying to think of my stupid movie. Hold on. Who else is in my movie? Stephanie Wepler. No, I'm trying to go in order, like who pops up. Stephanie Wepler is a wonderful actress, brilliant. I thought of her right away because I wrote a lot of this stuff while I was, active in the Actors Green Room, and so the people came to mind as I was writing. I was like, oh, Stephanie's going to play the tenant. And she challenges me, and we have a little bit of a hairy scene there. And again, she's a fantastic actress. I think she has a co-star coming up soon. And she's a really wonderful person, too. Her and her husband, a great guy, Will. And some of these people, you spend time with outside of the acting thing.
Sure.
Okay, so that's her. Then Pete Dorton and Zoe Watkins, they play 2 civilian security force agents, and they basically beat the crap out of me. And it's a good role for Pete because Pete's such a nice, happy little Stay Puft marshmallow guy.
Right.
It's good to see him play like a dangerous role.
Did you just say that? Oh, my God.
Pete, you listening?
That was mean. Oh, my God, he's probably listening. Now he's going to get all mad. I hope not.
Get mad. He loves people. He's lovely.
Did you see the movie? Okay then.
Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what I'm saying. He's such a sweet guy. Like to see him play something mean is cool for him. Zoe Watkins, who played the other one, is a brilliant actress from England, and she's great. And she has one of my favorite lines in the film. Wake him. I just love that. Every time I see it, I just like I get all giddy. And so there's those two. Then the next person, very prolific in her own right, is Dana Marissa Schoenfeld. Long story there, but anyway, there was another actress supposed to play that role. Dana stepped in literally last minute. I mean, like, I'm not going to say hours before, but like within 24 hours. It was one of those things I turned to her and said, hey, you want to play my dead wife tomorrow? And she's just looked at me like, whoa, God. And she was wonderful. And she's a great writer. She has some stuff out now, East and Swipe Right, and maybe a couple other films coming up. She's very busy.
Okay.
And she came and said, look, you have a very high concept here. We got to let's soften it down a little bit. And we reworked it right there on the spot and almost improvised the scene. She plays my dead wife, maybe a ghost, maybe an image, who knows, right? You have to figure that out.
Sure.
Okay, so that's Dana. Next is Letitia De Venuto, who might be the hero of our film. We don't know yet. I'm in custody, and she's like my caseworker or my caretaker, and she's wonderful. And she's been on Girls, I think. She's a co-star. Some other stuff maybe, but she's a great actress and a wonderful person. And then my buddy, this is the best part of it all. I have an old friend from high school and even junior high, my friend Steve Nico. He plays a prison guard. He plays like the guard who like locks me down, right? And he is the part because he was a correctional officer at Rikers Island. And he's bigger than me. And he's like, hey, how you doing, babe? Steve Nico. Jimmy, I swear to God, thank you so much for letting me get this role. It's his first ever film, and he killed it. He only has a couple of lines, but he killed it. He just like, bang. Like, you could tell he was nervous, but he handled it like a pro, came in and out. Everyone loved him, and it's great. Then we have Kay Tuckerman. Again, I wrote the role with another person in mind, and that person, it didn't work out. And I took a little class with Kay because she's a wonderful teacher as well. And every now and then as an actor, you want to kind of sharpen your chops and keep them, sharp. And it was like the second class. And I knew Kay because Kay directed me in another film months earlier than when we shot The Prime. I said, Kay, I sent her the script. I want you to play Director Allen. And she's, well, what about so-and-so? I said, don't worry about that. And she was being very, very sweet. And then when I gave her the green light, like, the other actress can't do it. It's yours if you want it. She lunged at it. It was great. She's like, yes. And man, I love that. And they all did great work. Like, everybody did a great job. And everyone brought their A game. And Kay just like, man, because I think it's the longest scene in the film, the end. And me and her really go at it. And it was wonderful. And like to feel across from you that level of talent coming at you and you're bouncing it back at them. And it was a great experience, And yeah, it's my first film.
Of course,
tons of mistakes, tons of things I would do differently. But that's the whole point of having a first film, And I think my bar was set pretty high from that, so I'm pretty proud of it, and everyone in it. I thank everyone involved, and of course Samantha Winter, who was my assistant director, and I give her producer credit because she did so much. It's like a little sister to me, and she just, man, she's like a dynamo. She's like this little Tasmanian devil. You set her all loose on set, and things get done, and you don't even know how. Of course, Jessica Green, who was the editor originally. And there was other people I was talking about directing, and they were kind of vague. Jessica's coming at me with ideas, like, you should cut this, you should do that, bang, 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 bang. And I said, wait a minute. And I went to Samantha. I said, Samantha, I think Jessica should be the director. And Samantha lit up. She's like, yes, make her the director. And she's directed a few things, but she's never directed sci-fi or anything of this kind of genre. And I didn't know anyone either. And I thought about directing, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm so glad I didn't. That would have been a mistake. And, man, Jessica came in like General Patton, man. She had it down. And it was, since she's an editor, there's a lot of technical things she has a handle on that happened during filming that I don't think any other director I know personally would have been able to handle easily. And I'm talking about technical problems. We had, like, equipment problems, sound issue problems, that because she's an editor and she's directed before, that she was able to, like, handle smoothly. And, I thank her up and down for that. And, like, me and her, like, we're partners in this a little bit. Like, we're going to the film festivals together. And she's a very talented actress as well. Brilliant actress and good director and everything else.
That.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, as it relates to that. And again, a lot of these questions I ask because there's most people that listen in are creatives and they're working on film, and it's important that they know this. So because you were a first-timer, whether it's the casting or the writing component or whatever, what for you was the easiest and then the most challenging part of creating that film? So that people are kind of prepared when they're stepping into this, because it's not easy, folks.
Right. Now, the easiest part for me, good question, I think was kind of putting the cast together. Like, again, thank AGR, because I had a pool of great talent around me, and that was kind of easy. Even when one person could do it, it was easy. Like, okay, well, let me check out this person. So, that was kind of the easier part. I'm not gonna say it was easy. It was the part that I had the least problem with. Like, oh, yeah, definitely get Pete. Yeah, oh, definitely. Oh, bam, so-and-so's backing out on me. She's flaking out. Boom. All right, Dana's right there. Hey, Dana, I dropped the bomb on her right there. You want to be in a movie tomorrow and play this challenging role? Good, do it. And they can all do it. And same thing with, Kay Tucker. Right. Hey, I want you. Do this. So that was probably the easier part. The most difficult part, honestly, for me, initially in the production process, is asking people for money. I am a very self-sufficient person. I will go without before I will ever ask. I will probably live in a cardboard box or in my van before I will ever tell anyone, hey, man, I'm having such problems, I'm about to lose my apartment. I don't like to ask people for things. I really don't. That's like my personal thing, right? And I'm happy to give. That's the stupid part of the imbalance of it is like I give money to films whenever I can and all that business. So that was hard to do that campaign, and we didn't make a ton of money. We only made like $3,100 or so dollars. And there's other people making like $9,000. I'm like, what the hell are we doing wrong? And maybe I wasn't aggressive enough. I just don't have that thing in me where I like, give me money. Although I think that's changing. My next film, I'm really excited to shoot. It's called 3 Grand Souls, and I wrote it with my friend Bianca in mind. And Rachel doesn't know this yet, but I'm gonna like bug her about maybe helping me produce it, or what. I'm gonna approach her about it, and I have other people in mind. I'm also part of this thing called
listening. Right now,
Rachel,
she said, I'm tuning in. She's like listening right now. She's totally hearing everything that we're saying. She missed her shout earlier because we were talking about her.
Rachel, I'm making you smile. She's not listening.
You could see it all the way from her house, right? Here's what she wrote about us.
Let me say this. I'm part of a thing called the Brazen Giant Ensemble. Christian Kyber and Bill Servino, my friend, created this little acting group. And it's about, like, bringing in our original work and, hey, what do you want to work on? Let's produce some stuff. And the two of the coolest guys I know, man. Bill Servino of the Servino family. His uncle's Paul Servino, cousin Mira Servino. But Bill's a great actor. He's a great guy. The Golden Door Film Festival. Yep. And you know what? He's probably one of the most down-to-earth dudes I know, man. And how I met him, I auditioned for a film that he was in the room, and they said he was going to play a detective, but apparently he was going to be doing the lead role. I auditioned for the lead role. I didn't know that, but I knew he was in the room. Apparently I did pretty well in the audition, and he contacted me after. He goes, dude, you scared me. I thought I lost the role to you. And I was like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't know. And then he was just so down-to-earth and honest and cool. And then he brought in him and Christian Kyber, Christian's a working actor. Christian's been in like a series regular on a lot of shows, and I think Charmed and stuff like that. Also, one of the coolest dudes I've ever met. Because, here's a dude who's done what I'd like to be doing right now. I'd love to be on a series regular or something like that. And he's so just chill about it. It's not like, oh, I'm Mr. Big hotshot actor. He's actually an artist. He really is an artist, and who really cares about the art. He's a brilliant actor and a brilliant coach and all that stuff. And we bring our stuff in. He's always got great ideas. So, I mean, they don't know this yet, but I'm going to try to I want to get it produced through them a little bit. So if you guys are listening, surprise. And I think it's a good script. I wrote a short script. It's not like The Prime at all. It's different. It's about kind of an ex-special forces kind of down-rotten person who's really just a drunk, and he meets a woman who turns out to be a pretty nefarious lady, and it's their relationship. And Bianca LaRue Jamont, I always screw her name, but she's a brilliant actress. She's so good. And I've known her about 10, 11 years now, and yeah, she's wonderful. She's just a wonderful actress. And I wrote it with her in mind. I said, I had this really emotionally devoid, horrible hooker-like woman. You want to play it? I wrote it for you. So in a weird way, it's a compliment.
I gotcha. Nice. Very, very nice. Okay, we're switching gears a little bit away from the acting thing for a second because I want to go back to the actual playing of guitar, and more importantly, what you folks may not know about him is that you have composed music before. So I want to talk a little bit about when you compose music, is it more so for stage? Have you done music for on screen? And as far as composition of music, how is that challenging for you versus composing, let's say, something different? Because as a writer, you can write music, because I can't do that. I can write everything else but not music. So you write for film and then you write for music. Tell us about how each of those experiences is unique to you and what sorts of music you've been composing lately.
Okay, cool. So I've been playing guitar since about 11, and so I've been playing about 5 years now. Anyway, I went to music school, Manus College of Music, so I'm like a trained blah, 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 fancy schmancy music school guy, right? And I played for years. I played jazz. I played with like some jazz legends over the years, guys like Bob Mover and Charlie Persip, and these like big name sidemen that played with the legends and that kind of thing. And of course, I played with Danny Aiello, and so I played for many years, and I taught for me. I still teach music. I still teach guitar. It's part of my living.
Right.
So I've composed music just for the sake of composing, out of my own like desire to make music, not trying to aim towards any like for film or for stage, or just to I've been in rock bands. When I was younger, I was in like rock bands that were looking to get signed to record labels back in the hair metal days. If you can find those pictures of me, God bless you. They're on my Facebook page. So
okay.
But now for film, I was going to compose the music for film, and for this film, for the Prime, and we were under what's called the Film Challenge. We only had like, what do we have? In all, maybe 10 days.
48 hours? Okay. Oh,
no,
wow.
We filmed it. I'm talking everything. Like,
right.
We filmed the entire movie in 4 days. Then we had a week of like about 7 days of post-production, and that was it. And then after that challenge, then we did more editing and stuff, because originally it was like a 24-minute film. Now it's down to like almost 18 minutes. So okay. I was going to do the music, and I just bought what's the music program? Logic, right?
Which one? Oh, okay, got it.
Right. So and now I'm sitting there looking at the computer, going, "Holy crap! I have to learn this program and compose music for the film." And I was freaking out. So I called this dude, Leron. Good fellow. I'm losing my mind right here. Hold on.
It's okay.
Leron Zaffelli. I was screw up his last name. I don't want to. Brilliant musician, brilliant piano player, wonderful musician, and he did about 90% of the score. I did a little extra. I did about maybe 15, maybe 20% more of the music in it myself after the film challenge, because there was some stuff we didn't get to finish film music-wise.
Sure.
So, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, but now I don't really have a great setup here. Like some people, I had a hard time loading the film into the program. It was taking forever. I was like, oh crap, I had to get this done. So I had to do it like in this really weird makeshift Jimmy rigged kind of way, where I had to time it just right while I was playing it, while the movie was playing. Like, I didn't have the luxury of like using the program the way it was supposed to be used. And then I would send it to Jessica. I was like, does this line up? And then she would make it line up, and it would work out perfectly. Thank God I didn't have to do that all the way. But it's a lot of fun, and it's a different thing, because when you write a song, like I've written songs just for the sake of writing a song, the song is the focal point. It's all about writing that song and all about it being something for people to focus on, that song and those words and that music. When you write for film, you're molding people's emotions, I think, almost subliminally. There are some things like let's take Star Wars soundtrack. Ba 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 ba. We hear that. That's a forefront piece of music. That's not
right.
Incidental music. That's something you're supposed to hear up front, and it's supposed to get the audience pumped, right? When we hear that, ba 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 ba, the perfect fourth, I believe, we hear that, we go nuts. But think about all the music John Williams wrote as incidental in the background kind of stuff, and that stuff is manipulating you. Take the music out of any film, and man, you've lost half the film. We all know that, right? And there's certain themes, like Rocky theme. Ba, 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 ba. You hear that, you're ready to go kick some ass. But you think about when you really, for the people who are listening who don't know this stuff, really listen to the music next time you hear, like you're watching a film, and really concentrate on the music. And think about how much that's actually shaping your emotional journey in the film. And that is really what it's about. You're realizing this is not about so much the music as it is supporting what is happening on screen and really, truthfully, manipulating those emotions. You know, because you could take a very emotionally driven, sad scene. You put like clown music behind it, you just change the whole scene. You know, and vice versa. So it's actually interesting to have that much control over emotions, like what you can drive in a film emotionally via the music. And it's kind of cool. And a little intimidating because, like with anything that is a clean slate and you're about to do something to it, you know, you're either going to like write your name in the snow with piss or your finger. So that's kind of like creating, right? I'm either signing my name in the snow right now with my finger or my pee-pee. So, and in other words, the point being, it's either going to be great or good or crappy.
Sure.
So,
you bet.
Hopefully that answers your question.
I find that, no, it does, but you know what? People like you that have a multitude of creatives in their belts, meaning sometimes people feel better about sharing more of their emotions and more of their expressions in music versus film versus, you know, on a notebook or versus in a play. If I were to ask James, okay, which expression of art does he use most often? Where is most of you? Is it mostly in music? Is most of you on stage when you're performing in a play or in a movie? Where are you most present?
All of it. It's really no difference to me. Yeah,
really?
I mean, it really is. I can't measure it one way or the other. They have different effects. It's like asking a parent, what kid do you like? Which one of your children you love more? Right? They have different aspects. I'm gonna say the middle kid personally, whatever. But they all have different aspects. They all have different things you might enjoy more or less about the other, but you love them all the same. So the ability to be in front of a camera and do something is amazing to me, but the ability to be on stage and know that I'm walking that tightrope 1,000 feet in the air and, you know, this is it. And what I'm doing now in the moment is affecting people or not is powerful.
Right.
When I'm holding a guitar and I can shred and I'm just playing my ass off and it's like, and the crowd is into it, it's all the same effect. It's all about moving people. It's about moving people and sharing the human condition with them via what we call art. And that's why art's important, because without art, we're just a bunch of plebes walking around making money for, you know, the 1% scumbags. Really, right? I mean, what are we doing? We're making the Rothschilds rich or whoever runs this, you know, shindig of a planet. So without art, what personal expression do we have, you know?
Well, that's interesting you say that because I've seen you do various things, and I've seen you on film, obviously, and I've seen you perform with your guitar, and I haven't had the pleasure of seeing you, but I would have gravitated towards actual plays, like actual theater. I could see where you would gravitate to that more so, and that would be more of you in that platform. For some reason, I don't know why, but I just seem fixated on the theatrical
you might be right.
thing.
You might be right, because I'll say this. It's kind of... Because for me, music, I love to record music, but, like, I'm a live player. I've been playing live since I was, like, 16 years old, 15, 16, right? Mm-hmm. I've been on stage. I've been on stage since I was about, one way or another, since about 8 years old. So live plays are great because it has that element of playing live musically where you're in the moment and what you're doing there is affecting people and you're getting feedback in a way. Like if you say something funny and people laugh, you nailed it. If you're making people, if the house is quiet as a pin drop, you know you have people, you know they're gripped and they're listening to you. So there's like kind of a little bit of both those elements in music and performance. And again, the stage is a church to me, you know, the theater is a church. And I love performing live, and I haven't done it in a while. The last big thing I did was Henry V. I played Henry for Hudson Shakespeare. And it was a lot of fun. It was outdoor, and it was always very challenging because there's always some meathead out there sitting with a bag of chips and chewing loudly or talking. So there's like, you know, there's challenges there. And you know what, sadly, that's happening in theaters now too. And look, I'm Spartan Greek and I'm Irish. I'm not saying I have a temper, but I have a temper. And when I see people, even in the movie theater, talking, or did you know we were at the screening Saturday, and we were in the block before ours. We went to go see the Thrills and Chills block, and there was some fantastic movies, fantastic. These morons behind us are talking through some of the films, and I'm thinking, and me and Jessica. Jessica's like she's a beautiful Irish girl from Chicago. You don't mess with her. we were both turning around like, shut up. I mean, so I was like, the filmmakers are there. Like, do you understand?
Right.
It's not like you're just talking to a Hollywood film that I paid $25 to go see. Like, some of the filmmakers are in the audience, and you're being rude to their film. So,
right.
I mean, sadly, that's a thing now. And even in theater, I actually went to go see a play some years back, and these guys were up front talking, and there was an intermission. I walked up to them. I said, hey, you know the people on, I said, it's not a screen, right? The people on stage can hear you talking. Why don't you shut up? And they looked at me like I was the idiot. I'm like, I can't believe that you actually have to say that to people. It's disgusting. It's sad. And it's kind of a commentary on how the attention span of people is just, it's shrinking. And the politeness or the courtesy of people is just null, kind of null. But anyway, I do love stage. I do love performing on stage.
Well, that's what I thought. I was going to say, I've looked at his resume, folks, obviously, as you might have ascertained by doing this interview. And, of course, the two that stood out to me as far as theater, Death of a Salesman, which is one of my favorites, along with Glass Menagerie, which I think is awesome. And he, of course, has played on Broadway. So
yeah.
I know, that's my... Obviously, I just said that. So here's my question about the theater thing, because obviously some of us have never been on Broadway, and I'm going to be doing a play myself because I've written 4, and I'm like, well, now that things are more settled at home, I want to start doing my own movies, and of course, obviously, play. I would rather do plays than movies anyway. But my question to you is, and again, we revert back to sharing your wisdom with those that may not be part of this industry or want to get into it, as it relates to, obviously, not everybody gets to do off-Broadway or let alone being on Broadway. So tell everybody what, in your opinion, is the golden ticket per se to get somebody's attention in the play world in terms of wanting to get them cast, wanting to see them on a small stage. How is it getting cast in a play versus getting cast in a film? Because obviously I'm guessing that it's same but different.
Well, let me say it this way. There was a point in my theater stuff, I was getting offered one role after another in all black box theater, off-Broadway, some off-Broadway stuff. And there was a friend of mine, Toots, amazing actress, brilliant older woman. And she joked around. She says, yeah, I'm the queen of off-Broadway, smoking a cigarette. And I thought to myself, oh, that's funny. I said, man, I don't want to be the king someday. I don't want to be 20 years from now saying, and I love doing stage, but I don't want to get lost. Because what happened in my music career, I kind of got lost in the sideman world where I want to be more than just the guy on the side, helping out. I want to do my own thing. I want to create stuff. I want to have a voice. I want to write. I want to produce. I want to make my stuff. I want my name to be not just one of many. I want it to be, and we can call that egotistical. I don't care. Fine. Maybe it's megalomania in my part. But I know I have something I want to say as an artist, whether it's writing, acting, and I want more than just being on the side. So the thing about, you could get lost in New York City theater on the black box theater level, on the off-Broadway level. And I was doing one play after another. I mean, I would be running one play and rehearsing another, and somehow I made money doing other jobs too, like, teaching guitar and stuff like that. I don't know how I did it schedule-wise. I was once part of the Michael Chekhov Theater Company, which was infamous. It was kind of a volatile theater company. It was a lot of fun in some ways, and we did a lot of plays. We did a Sam Shepard Festival. We did like all 44 of his plays. We did Shakespeare. We did all this stuff. And it was tough because, there was a lot of competition. The guy who ran it, I'm not going to say he was a good guy in a lot of ways. A lot of people didn't like him. He was a little bit of a nut job, but he was a great guy to me. In the long run, we wound up becoming friends. But a lot of volatility there. And, and I see people still doing plays. It's kind of like, and this is going to upset some people if I say this. I have friends in the jazz world who are still doing gigs for $100 a night at restaurants, and they've been doing that for the last 20 years. And that's great. Do it. If you love doing it, man, I want you to do it. I support it 1,000%, but it's not what I want to do. I want to feel the climb. I want to feel the progression forward. I want to feel the crescendo, sort of life-wise and career-wise, where it was like Miles Davis said. Dave Liebman was one of his sidemen, a great sax player, and I talked to Dave Liebman once, and it was like a great moment in my life. I'm talking to like this legendary sax player, and we're talking about Miles Davis, who we played with, and I said, how was it like playing with Miles? And I said, why did you never, I asked him, or someone else asked him, like, how come you never do any of the old songs? And Dave Liebman asked him that, like, hey, how come, I asked Miles, why don't we do any of the songs you did 10 years ago? And Miles said it best. He goes, can't use it. And that was my Miles Davis impression, by the way. It sucked.
He tries though, kids. He tries.
I try though.
He does.
Yeah, I try to be Miles Davis on a daily basis, and I suck at it. No, and Miles said I can't use it. In other words, I did it. It doesn't do anything for me anymore. And same thing. Like I've done 5 Shakespeare plays. I played 3 lead roles. I love doing it. There's only 2 roles that I would jump on, but I'm not pursuing doing Shakespeare anymore because I'd rather write my own film, produce that, put it out there in the world, and see where that takes me.
Sure.
I've done Shakespeare, and it's great, it's fun, it's challenging, and I've gotten people compliments. I even had British people compliment me. I thought that was like the big staple in it.
Nice.
And, okay. Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't Helen Mirren saying it, but whatever. So, I did it, but because you want to do things in steps. Like, in other words, all right, I did that. I have that under my belt. I can do it again if I need to, but what else forward can I do? And I think to people getting in the business, you got to keep that perspective. Like, I think stage is a must. For someone who wants to get into acting, get on stage, even if it's a crappy. I've done things in basements. I mean, I remember there was a theater out in Astoria with Glass Menagerie. When I did that, I played the gentleman caller, Jim O'Connor.
Sure.
And there was we went to the show up at the theater. I would show up, and it's like in the basement of a house. And believe it or not, it was actually a nice little theater. They had it together. They had like lighting and stage, and it was pretty cool. But I was like, sure. And part of me was like, yeah, cool. This is the trenches. Like. I can now say, yeah, I've acted in a friggin' basement. That's an old saying people say, but I actually literally did it. And I'm Greek, so I could say this. Greeks are the most judgmental people. They would tell me, okay, they told the director I was too old for the role.
Oh my God, really?
Like they were brutal, but it was great. It was great. And Greeks, we do that. We judge people because we think we started humanity somehow like 5,000 years ago or whatever. We haven't let go of it since.
Oh my God.
Like what have you done for me lately?
Lord.
Okay, democracy, wonderful, good for you.
Oh,
So, yeah, get on stage. Deal with that terror. Deal with that friggin' magnificent horror of standing in the wings, waiting for your cue to walk on stage in front of a bunch of strangers, dead quiet, and you got to say these words. Do that.
Good advice. That's excellent advice, as a matter of fact. And I want to digress for just a moment, because you had mentioned the component about teaching. You teach musician or musically, a music teacher. Have you ever considered the possibility of doing teaching acting?
Yeah, I have. Not in a classroom setting. I'm going to mention my buddy Anthony Grasso, who's a brilliant actor. Great guy, and he teaches on-camera class. I think he could teach anything. I mean, they say on-camera, but I know this guy could teach anything acting-wise. You go see anything with him in it. He's a brilliant actor, and apparently he's a great acting coach. I always tell him I'm going to go on his class one day, but someday I will. But I'm also a little broke right now because these things run $300-400 a month. And it's worth it.
I know, right?
Anthony's worth it. Anthony could charge $1,000 a month, and it'd still be more than worth it.
Exactly. And we love
people,
you, Anthony.
Right. So I have had people, and I have done it. People, hey, can you coach me on this? Can you coach me on that? I have a buddy, my friend Amanda Brooke Lerner, who's a brilliant actress. Mm-hmm. She does these great self-tapes, and we help each other out because she'll do it. She needs a self-tape. She'll say, hey, can you coach me on mine, and I'll coach you on yours. So we kind of barter that way. Sure. And so there's that. And I've had people come to me, believe it or not. Some people don't think I can do Shakespeare. Like, I would never cast you in Shakespeare. I'm like, well, F you. You shouldn't cast Shakespeare then. But I've had people ask me, hey, I'm auditioning for this Shakespeare role. Can you coach me on it? I'm like, well, sure. And in the beginning, I would just do it for free because, and I kind of do it like on a barter system at this point. But at some point, I've had enough people who have booked things from what I've given them advice for. And, yeah, it'd be fun. I like to teach. I like to help people out like that. And it helps you. If you can explain what you know and you express what you can do, it helps you get better at what you do. So I would dare say one of the reasons Anthony's such a great actor is because he's great at understanding acting and pointing it out in others, and which only strengthens him as an actor, for instance, And, and you see these things on, like Kevin Spacey was doing that. Like he did that online acting class, I might check that out. But my point being... Yeah, I think anytime you have to explain what you know, it's just, you should teach. If you become good at something, you should learn to teach it. If anything, just to make you better at what you do in the first place. So.
I agree, 100%.
So, yeah.
Teaching is one of my favorite things. I love it,
right.
and I don't get to do it
And
enough.
if I can make a good living at it,
yeah.
Who's teaching?
Really?
No, if I can make a good living at it, if I can make, some cash every month, and it's still in acting and helping people, and that's how I got into guitar teaching. I was playing a lot, but it wasn't making, the money comes and goes, and the teaching thing happened along, and I was more consistent. So yeah, it happens. It's part of the process of being an artist, I think.
Too bad. And I don't want to forget to mention this because we're so name dropping today because we can. John Gallagher. Speaking of directors / teaching acting /
I hear amazing
everything.
things about the dude. I've never met him. I hope I meet him soon.
Oh.
Yeah, I hear great things about the dude, and I would love to meet him. I would love to talk to him. Yeah, I mean, I know he's a great actor and a great guy.
John Gallagher, I'm telling you folks, he is like my right arm. I learn everything from him, and I just have to say, I mean, I'm like, we mentioned Anthony, definitely without a doubt, John Gallagher should be on that radar and that list without a doubt for anything, anytime, everywhere, and I'm so lucky that, yay, part of his film isn't part of my film, so I'm so excited about that. I can't stand it. Now, I want to, before we look at your TV and film, the biggest thing that I want to talk about is James is actually a person. He's not just an actor. He's not just a filmmaker. He's not just a producer. There's a real live side to him, meaning that he's an actual person who doesn't go running around and acting 24/7. So a couple of fun facts that I know about you. First of all, he rides a motorcycle. And if you know me, you already know that that's like huge on my list. And today, by the way, folks, if you are a female, you own a motorcycle or you can get your butt on the back of one, which I am later, get your butt outside. It's International Female Riders Day today, so make sure you get out and ride. So I'm curious to ask, because you have such a crazy busy lifestyle, do you even get a chance to get out? Plus, try riding a motorcycle in New York City. I mean, how do you do that? That's what I want to know.
Well, it's dangerous. I also race. I go to the track mostly now. And hopefully maybe I'll be coaching soon because, like I said, money's tight right now. And going to the track is expensive. It's not cheap. But It's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. I've ridden on the street for a bunch of years now. I've crashed. I've been hit by cars. It's dangerous. I'm not going to lie. It's very dangerous. And my bike has been in the shop. I haven't ridden this year yet because my street bike has been in the shop. My other vintage bike is not working, so once I get my street bike back, I have to bring the vintage bike, blah, 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 blah. I just bought a smaller car, though. I sold my truck, and I bought a Volkswagen Golf. So that's kind of fun, and it's stick shift. So
I bet.
But, my fear is, and this is like serious, what do we call it, white privilege, entitlement problem. Like, oh, my God, I might not get to go racing my motorcycle this year. Yeah, boo-hoo, right? But for me, it's one of the few things I love to do. I'm not a big sports guy. Like, I don't understand how people get all hot and bothered over, like, someone throwing a ball. For me, it's like if you can go 120 miles an hour into a turn with your knee dragging the ground, that's balls, all right? There's an old joke in our sport. They said, yeah, motorcycle racing, because all other sports only require one ball. So, get it? Ba-doom, psh. I'll give you a second, Cindy.
I was just waiting for you to
you got it. Okay, good. You got it.
Of course I did. But I like to give you center stage because I know you like doing that funny ha-ha, and then I'm like, okay, just let him do the ha-ha thing. Speaking of ha-ha, let me just throw this one out here because I'm like, first of all, it's ironic you're a fan of the Chicago Cubs because I'm a Midwesterner, and obviously you're a New Yorker, and I'm eventually going to be a New Yorker. But why the affinity for the Chicago Cubs? I would think New York Yankees or New York anything. So I'm like, it's kind of cool.
Interesting you bring that up because this is a little sad note. I just found out when we were in Florida last week, Jessica's done a bunch of horror films. She's like, oh, Google me when you get into the deeper pages because of all those horror films I did. There's all these weird pages about me. I said, let me Google myself. I haven't Googled myself in a long time. And again, I'm a megalomaniac. I love me. Hey, somebody's got to love me. So I do this. And I'm going pages and the pages. I'm like 4 pages into Googling me, and I see an obituary for my Aunt Sharon. Now, my Aunt Sharon and she was wonderful, but we weren't very close. I'm not very close to my family. And I haven't talked to her in years because she would like change her number and wouldn't send it to me or whatever. She just got weird. So, and I saw the obituary, and I figured she was probably dead. But I thought maybe she died like a year or 2 ago, or 3 years ago. But it turns out she only died 11 days before I saw that obituary. It was really weird. Like I was meant to see it. It was like a weird universal thing. And so anyway, my Aunt Sharon moved to Chicago many years ago, and we used to go visit her all the time. And so I think my first baseball, what do you call them? Not tournament, jeez. This will show you how much of a sports guy I am. Baseball game.
He's tuning in regularly.
It's still early to me. Leave me alone.
Ouch.
My first baseball game was probably the Cubs when I was like maybe 5 years old.
Really?
And, it was at Wrigley Field, right? And it's a magical place, Wrigley Field. It's like this, it's like from 1900, and so it's it was an experience with my aunt. She was cool, and sadly Aunt Sharon has passed on. So now I think all the Irish side of my family's dead. And we're working on the Greek side right now.
Oh goodness! I was going to say
they knew too much.
I was going to say I noticed that, and I was going to say how sorry I am about that, because I know that you had said that you weren't completely close, but it's still a loss nonetheless, and I think
it's a weird way to find out
that.
Right? Google yourself and then see your aunt's obituary.
Yeah, that is
I
a little.
That's a little. I laugh because that's the way things happen in my life, like that odd, out of left field. Like, oh, okay, I was just trying to Google myself to make myself feel better, because again, someone's got to love me. Me, boom, there's my dead aunt.
Stop. I gotcha. Well, and the other thing I noticed about you when I was Googling you was, or one of the things I noticed on the profile was, you want to be a superhero when you grow up. And I'm like, is he seriously kidding me about that? The potential, I want to be in your description, it's got all these different things listed on what you do, and it says potential superhero. And I'm like, how badass is that? Oh my God, my kids are here. I shouldn't say that on air. But no, seriously, the potential superhero thing is awesome. I'm like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, I have to ask you, we just saw Avengers. So if you could be anyone from the Infinity War series, who would it be?
Oh, see, you got me. I don't even know who's in that. Iron Man.
The
cool.
Avengers, the Marvel comics, dude.
I never read comics. I never read comics. I want to be someone who could fly. Who flies? Like, I mean, like fly for real, not with some suit. Who like Superman? But like, he's not in that. I know that.
I'm not gonna think. Crap.
Who's the woman?
I'm trying to think of somebody. Oh, now I don't know.
See?
Darn it. Well, I can ask my kids in the other room, but I'm like, who doesn't know about Avengers?
Cool
the Hulk. I love the Hulk.
No, this way you get a new wardrobe every time you get pissed off. That's kind of cool.
And he gets mad, and he's like, Hulk smash, and there you go. You're done. Just like that. I'm like, it's
break
awesome.
Stuff.
He can knock you in the
neck.
And
what are you going to do? Like, when I become Bruce Banner again, you're going to complain? You know not to piss me off, so it's kind of cool. It's like, you know how many passive-aggressive people must be in his life? Think about that.
Oh, my
Bruce,
God. That is too funny.
Listen, Bruce, listen, I don't want to anger you, but I know how you get. So if you could just, like, maybe kind of sort of, like, just, tone down the anger a little bit, and maybe not break my house every time you get pissed off and throw cars through buildings. That'd be really good. I mean, imagine that. How many passive-aggressive people must be in his life? Poor guy.
Oh, my God, you're too funny. Well, my recommendation is, if I were you, I would go for the Thor angle, because the chicks like the Thor. He's got his now he's
whatever.
Now he's kind of looking good. He's got another eye now.
Tall,
so
blonde-haired, blue-eyed, pretty boy. Screw him. Screw him. I'm all about the underdog. I am the underdog. Screw him. Oh, I come on this earth. Like, what did he do? Hammer. I'll hammer him in his ass. Screw him. He comes to his planet. He's already a superhero. He doesn't have to earn nothing. What did he do? Oh, his poor brother doesn't like him. Blah, blah, blah.
He is the god of thunder. Thunder. God of thunder.
Who likes thunder? Nobody likes thunder. Thunder means rain and your days crap.
Thunder.
Thor's a punk. I said it. Yeah, I said it. Thor's a punk.
I can't hear you anymore. Oh, wait, the show's over. Did you just insult Thor? That's like insulting Wonder Woman, okay?
What did he do? I came to a planet, and I'm just add water, and I'm a superhero. I own a stupid hammer. I can go to Home Depot and become Thor. Screw him. Bruce Banner had to get gamma rays, man. The dude got radiated.
I know. Hey, dude, I'm on the Hulk. I love the Hulk. He's awesome.
Come on. Right? What's his face? Iron Man saw his parents die or something like that. He's got all this money. He's conflicted.
Yeah,
Iron
Man's kind of cool. No, my son likes Spider-Man. He's like all over Spidey. He's like, that's my guy.
He got bit by a spider, and he's a geeky kid, and he can't love the girl because responsibility or something like crap like that, and great responsibility becomes great BS. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Thor.
Oh, you're
Thor's
too funny.
Thor's a friggin' punk.
Now, I want to ask you about television, because I was looking at all the various things you did in TV, and there's four that stood out to me.
Just so you know. I do have to leave.
I know you do.
While,
That's why we're rounding this around.
Okay,
well,
I just want to make
you
aware.
Yeah, we're good. I know. I've been watching the time on
trust
purpose
you.
because
I trust
have a
you.
lunch
I
too.
trust you.
Aww.
I trust you with my life.
After he gives me all this crap.
Shows you how much I think about my life.
Now As to TV, really cool plus points out of all the things he's done. These are the Fab Four that stood out to me. Red Rum, for obvious reason. Can you say Stephen King? But, so there's that. Celebrity ghost stories, because who doesn't like a good paranormal story? I Killed My BFF. I had thoughts of that
don't
recently.
Bring those up. Jesus.
And Rescue Me, oh my God, Rescue Me. I had, when I had, whatchamacallit on, oh my God, I'm so bad that I just had a mind blank that I should know. One of the guys from Rescue Me came on my show. Very, very flattered, very, very honored. Robert Burke, as a matter of fact, was the one.
Okay.
Awesome actor. So this is what I want to talk about in terms of television, because you've done a body of work in TV. And I always like to leave the less glamorous side out and show the reality and the plus point. Obviously, everybody wants to be on television, I think, at some point, whether they mean to or not, with the exception of me, because I don't. But as far as TV goes, let them know, let your listeners know, besides the downside, which I'm guessing is you show up on set and hurry up and get there at 7 a.m., but you're not shooting until 6 at night. But more importantly, is it easier for you in terms of lines and performance, et cetera, to do TV, or are you more gravitating towards the film aspect of things because of those reasons? I mean, do a bit of a comparison there.
Yeah. The last big TV show I did was Billions. I did a co-star. Adam Arkin was the director. Now, I played with his uncle, Bob Arkin, who's a very famous bass player. And that was like, I said, hey, man, I played with your Uncle Bob, and we hit it off right away. And he was a great guy, great director, just a really sweet guy, cool to hang out. He's like coming up to me afterwards, hey, let's take a selfie. And I was like, oh, really? And, very nice guy. Now, the thing about TV is it's very precise. It's very scheduled. There's no real room for improvising or anything like that. The lines you've given are the lines they want you to say, and you really want to be sharp. So television is very sharp, to the point, precise, do it right, and yeah, even though you might be doing a co-star that day and you're a big shot or even a guest star, you're not the main guy. So you have to be, this little slice of perfection for them. And it's stressful as an actor because, we're already scared going on there. We're already nervous. You want to do a good job. And there's that. In film, I think there's a little more leeway. We could play a little more. And yes, in both mediums, you get a second take, a third take, and all that business. But that's it. In the film, now, it also depends on the level of the film. If I was to do a Hollywood film tomorrow, I would be the smallest guy on the totem pole, and I don't get to go, hey, you know what, I want another take. Tough crap. Christopher Nolan says that's that. Bang. That's kind of TV, too. Like, you don't get to, maybe you can. And as you get a little more experience, you might be able to call the shots a little more. But, you got to play that smart. You just can't walk on there as like you own the place. So television is very sharp, precise, to the point. I've done a lot of those docudrama shows you mentioned, like Red Rum. Red Rum was like that regular thing. And that was a lot of fun. And Tony Glazer was the director on that, and he's a really great guy.
Oh, nice.
And a really good director. And they make films, him and his wife. We had a lot of fun, and you can get into it, some of the directors, and you can kind of like dance with them a little bit and have a little fun with it and be like, okay, cool, yeah, we're on the same page here. Awesome. Sometimes you realize, I'm just a cog in the wheel, and let me just do as I'm told. So there's that kind of dynamic. It depends where you're also at. You're doing major network television, and you're not a name. Well, play nice. Go in there, do your job, be as professional. My advice is this: as professional as you think you're being, be twice more professional than that.
Good answer.
Films. I look at films as like a little more of a playground, and some directors hate me for it, but hey, I'm bringing everything I know how to do for you. And I will mess with the lines sometimes. I will throw out a bunch of ideas because, hey, isn't that what you wanted me to do? Isn't that what you hired me for, to bring my choices? Right. So, that could be debatable, but I think film is a little more of a playground. Just a little, not much. We're not going rewriting scripts now and
Right.
But it's kind of that dynamic. So they're very similar, but I would just say, yeah, I think television is just a sharper thing. And that's all I got to say about that.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to play the song that he was kind enough to give me so we can squeeze that in, and then I'm going to tell you the various ways that you can find him so that he can start his wonderful day. So this is a song called, do you want to do a segue for Crazy Legs?
No. I don't know.
All right, I guess no segue.
It's a band called Groove Assault. It's on iTunes and Spotify.
Okay.
Like the band Groove Assault, and I wrote all the parts, the music, the horns, everything.
Ooh,
that's it.
Awesome. All right. let's give him 3 minutes to break, and here's Crazy Legs. And now I'm completely and totally jealous because I can't do even half of that. I can't play, I can't sing, I can't write music. I suck. Yeah, that was great. So,
Thank you.
We want to wrap up the show because the boss over there has to go work, and this boss has to yell at her children and go out and eat lunch in the sunshine with my friends and have a cocktail.
That's right. And go teach your kids some dirty words. Want me to teach them dirty words? I'll teach them dirty words.
My God. Okay. I'm going to read off all the various ways that you can find this gentleman, and it's James, and pronounce our last name again because I screw it up every time.
How do I say it? Pravasilis. 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 I feel like I'm on Sesame Street right now.
We've got two websites for him. First of all, for the film, which we've been discussing, which is the Prime, and it's theprimefilm.com. James, and again, the spelling of the last name, Pravasilis.com. He is on Facebook 2 places. He has a personal page as well as the Prime Film. He has an IMDb profile. He is on YouTube. He is on Instagram, same name, James Pravasilis. He is on iTunes. Obviously, the name of the band, again, is Groove Assault, if you want to go ahead and check them out. Also, I want to make mention of this, boss. When you go to your website, the Instagram, when I click on it, it doesn't take it to your Instagram, just so you know. Because I clicked on it this morning.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't take you anywhere. Yeah, so just so you know, without a doubt. And before I forget to ask, before we do the roundup, which is I get to tell you what I think of you, any local place where people can see the film coming up at a film festival near you?
Not yet. Well, the Long Island Film Festival, but that's in July, I think July 7th.
Right.
Which is a day after we started shooting the Prime. So maybe everyone in the Prime remembers that. That'll be like a nice little thing, like a year later, here we are. But anytime soon, not in the next month or two, because we're going to Vero Beach next week. And, I mean, not next week, next month, June 7th. But, you know, if I know someone personally, I might send it to them to see it. But you know what? There's a trailer you can watch. And I'd rather just create the buzz, and when it does come here, let people come see it. You know, come see it and make the decision on their own if they like it. And that's it. And as far as playing live musically, I did some gigs with Danny a couple weeks ago, and a friend of mine, Luke Winter. We did what did we play? The Duplex, the fun little gig. Right. I don't really get out to play that much anymore. I'm walking outside right now, by the way, in sunny Brooklyn.
No, I get it. All right. So that brings us to 2 points. You get your surprises, and then I get to tell you what I think of you. Hold on. This is the best part. Okay, so I got 4 things for you. 4. Okay. That must mean I like him just a small bit, but don't tell him because it goes right to his head. Number 1, first and foremost, and you only heard this on the show, but it has to be because we can't say yet. There's word around town, and I can confirm because I am the founder, that if those of you live in New York City and want to see James, as well as myself, in person, the Prime has been selected for this year's Art is Alive Film Festival. You can't announce it, but it has been selected. It's an official selection. You got to wait. Yeah, you got to wait until I announce everybody. That's number 1. Okay. Number 2, because you have a bona fide belief that you could play a superhero, I wrote a play called Players Purgatory, and guess what? All my exes are superheroes. So if you'd like, we should sit down and talk about casting you in my play and being one of my exes. That sounds weird, but it works. That's 2. Number 3, I am up for, somebody asked me to teach at a school, and they are looking for someone to actually teach there, either on an acting or a musical basis. So I'd like to pitch your name to them if possible, because it's a paying gig.
Absolutely.
That's number 3.
Oh, I love that.
Number 4,
God,
because you put a bug under my butt, I am going to reach out to Danny Aiello and ask him if he'd be willing to do a book signing at my film festival this year. You think he might be up for that?
Maybe. Yeah. Danny, I mean, he would. He's a great guy. He's a lovely guy. You'd have to talk to his right-hand man, Lou Baldineri. And, you know, you got the in with me. And, you know, Danny, he's a busy guy. And, you know, he's been through some stuff late years. So he kind of, he's hard to get a hold of sometimes. But he's a great guy. He loves to do. And you know what? If he could promote his book, I would love that, and come see the films. We'll talk. Let's talk.
I would too.
See what happens.
We'll definitely talk. The last thing I want to offer you, which is obvious to me, and it's been obvious, you and I have talked about you being cast in my film, and then I thought about that, and I'm like, all right, I could go that route, but you know what I really would like? I wonder if you just toss around the idea of composing something for the film.
I could do that, yeah.
Music.
I would do that for you.
I think that would be awesome. And we could talk about that in person as far as that goes.
Yeah, definitely.
But because I know you got to go to work, I got to wrap it up, and I'm going to say this much. These are my thoughts and impressions of this young man on the other end of the phone. And as I tell everybody all the time, this is not scripted. So this means that it's actually original and unique and from my heart. So I'll try to keep this simple. These are my impressions of you in case I haven't told you lately.
Okay.
So here we go. The very first time I met James, one of the things that stood out to me so much was the fact that he had the balls to actually give me so much crap in a public place to a stranger that he had never met before. I walked away from that thinking to myself, man, if I ever see that guy again, I'm going to be like, dude, I'm going to be shaking my head thinking this is going to be hell. Why? Because he's just got to get under my skin. Let me just tell you what I've discovered about this young man. And I say young because he looks a heck of a lot younger than I do. One of the things that I admire most about him is that I really do not think that he's taken enough time to do any self-reflection, to see the extraordinary, beyond excellent abilities that he possesses in every single creative field possible. First of all, when he plays music, he commands the attention of his audience in such a way where they are not only delighted but dumbfounded by his talent. On the play side of things, what I find is so intriguing about him is I saw him in a suit with this hat, and I'm sure you remember the performance, but what stood out about that was is you never see him like that. And when he transforms into that character, whether it's on a small stage, whether it's on a big stage or a big screen, what you see is 100% authentic. You see the eyes of a man who wants everyone to notice the inside of him, not what he's presenting on the outside, but what he's presenting on the inside. He's all about showing you his naked self without revealing everything. That mystique, that mystery is fascinating to me. He's humble. He's handsome. He's funny. He's silly. He's hardworking. He's one of the most honest people I've ever met. He may not recognize or realize this, but every time I'm around him, I'm very nervous because I'm not quite to the level that he is yet. And it means a great deal to me that he wants to spend time with me. He also doesn't realize, believe it or not, that he's slowly but surely, and I talk about it all the time, I have a friend family. I don't have a real family I connect with. And he's slowly becoming my family. And I'm so proud of him. And I'm so blessed that he came on my show today. You need to know this man, and I pray that he wants to be a part of my projects one day.
Oh, that's very sweet. That was really kind. Can you repeat some of that? I was somewhere else. I really wasn't listening. Do you mind repeating half that? Just kidding.
I'm sorry. I can't ever talk to you again. Don't text me. Don't call. I'm not around. I don't know who this guy is.
No, let me say.
Only you would do that.
Let me tell you what I think of you. Let me tell you, you really are a kind person. I mean, you really. I know it's very difficult to do what you do, and then while we're doing this little ass kissing fest, which is what I love very much, because I love to hear great things about me because I love me. But no, you really do, Cindy. I got to give you credit. You don't have to do this. You have a family, you got the kids, and all this other stuff to deal with, and I know what you've been through personally as well. So, you do this out of the kindness and the love for the arts. And man, as an artist, I can't say how much I appreciate that. And you're doing a great thing. Keep doing it, and you're making a difference. You should know that every film fest out there,
really,
because it's giving an opportunity for people who don't have a voice to start a voice, and that's man, that's everything. Because you know what? If we didn't have film festivals that were starting out like you and really at the grassroots level, we'd all have to be like somehow trying to get to Sundance or something like that. You know what I mean? Like we'd have to get money we don't have, and it's impossible for people. So you are a platform for people like me getting ahead, and I mean, sadly, if God willing, I'll probably forget about you. Don't take that personally. It's just what happens when you become a mega star. So I just don't want you to let you know that now.
Do you see how he does so well this whole time, and then he just makes me just want to be like, oh my God, you are such a. I can't say it right now.
I'm kidding.
I totally can't say it.
I'm kidding.
All right, young man.
But no, seriously,
I'm coming back to town.
You've been one of the
so
nicer people I've met in the last year, and you've really been a big help, and I love you for that. Thank you so much.
Did he just say that? Oh, my God, he just said something nice. Oh, my God. Now I don't have to go out and drink this afternoon. Thank you so much.
Yeah, happy
and mark
down
my dates. 23rd to the 27th, I'll be in New York, and I really want to see you. Please, please, please make some time.
Yeah, we'll get together.
I'd appreciate it very much. Definitely.
Well, thank you.
All right, honey, you go off to work. I'm going to go take care of my kiddos. You have a great day.
I want to thank all 5 people listening, all 5 of you.
Actually,
thank
6
you so much
with
for taking the
Rachel.
time.
6 with Rachel.
Rokola.
Don't want to forget Rachel.
Rokola. So, hello, Rokola. I love Rokola. I haven't seen her in a while. I miss you, Rach. See you later. See you at the next meeting.
I miss her, too. I'm like, all right, go enjoy your day. I'm going to go have fun with my kids.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling
Bye, everybody.
Have a good one. Bye. Tell me that he's not fabulous, right? But, again, don't tell him. It just goes right to his head. James Pravasilis, IMDb, YouTube, iTunes, Facebook personal page, as well as the Prime Film, the website, JamesPravasilis.com, theprimefilm.com, obviously Instagram. You got to look his name up. Don't go to the website. It's not working. James Pravasilis. And, of course, YouTube. And, of course, iTunes if you want some of that kick-butt music. You heard all my propositions, so hopefully we'll finally get to work together. I want to say thanks so much to Rachel Kadushin for tuning in, as well as for Pete Dorton. Hopefully, Eve Austin, you had a chance to listen in. Again, Eve Austin, we love you very much, along with everybody else that was shouted out today, from John Gallagher to Tony Glazer to Bill Servino to, oh, my God, there's so many I can't even think of it, Kay Tuckerman. Obviously, I mentioned John Gallagher, right? just pretty much everybody that we have the pleasure to work with and know every single day on a regular basis, creatively, professionally, personally. We just dig you big time. Don't forget, obviously, to tune in this coming Monday at 1:30 Central Standard Time for my interview with Nicole Isler. I'm going to go get my butt in gear along with my kids who are in the other room not listening to me. Thank you 100 times over for giving us all your time and attention those last 2 hours. Enjoy your weekend. And again, if you're a female writer, get your butt out. It's International Female Writer Day. And we'll talk to you on Monday. Take care.